Welcome back, Spider Pig. Y'all know what time it is. Another Super Saturday. It's your boy, TWP. Y'all know this is the Spider Pig channel where we do entertainment reviews, musical reviews, whatever I feel like reviewing. It's Spider Pig did whatever the Spider Pig did. Hey, like I said, it's Super Saturday, so y'all already know. We finna get it in. Our dude had a good week, so we got a good week for y'all. To
Thanks for calling the cover up insurance. This is Jerome. How can I help you?
Yeah, I would like to make a claim on my homeowner's insurance.
Damn, for real? What happened?
Basically, a plumber came in, beat my ass, set my house on fire.
Oh, shit. That's crazy, bro. But we don't cover that.
What the fuck you mean you don't cover it?
We don't cover house fires from plumbers.
What the fuck you mean you don't cover house fires from plumbers? What if my house was set on fire?
Yeah, if your house was just set on fire, that'd be one thing, but it was set on fire by a plumber. So for that kind of fire, we do not cover that shit, sir. I'm sorry.
What kind of specific ass dumbass shit is that, bro? My house was set on fucking fire. Why does it matter if it was set on fire by a fucking plumber?
Because we don't cover that shit, sir. We do not cover that shit. All right?
Alright, fuck it. My house was just set on fire. No plumber. No plumber.
Bro, you just told me you had a fucking plumber set your house on fire.
Bro, he was dressed like a plumber. I don't fucking know.
It was 4 seconds ago. You can't fucking backtrack in the middle of the fucking conversation, bro. Come on.
Bro, I'm gonna just hang up and call back a lie.
How the fuck you gonna tell me you gonna call back a lie, bro? We not, bro. I'm not covering that shit. I'm the only motherfucker work here anyway, so you gonna get me again, bro. So I'm saying right now, we not
fuck
covering.
you. I knew I shouldn't have fucking signed up with y'all bitch ass.
Fuck you too. Is there anything else I can help with your bitch ass today? All right, so after the phone call, if you could just take this brief survey about your service and fucking leave a back.
Motherfucker, no, I ain't doing that shit. Take a damn. What the fuck?
Hey, Daddy.
Oh, fuck no, bitch. You gotta go.
Hey, come over here and smash, bro.
Bitch, no. And who the fuck tied you up?
I did. We got unfinished business. Now come over here and put it in.
Bitch, me and you is over. You got your crazy ass dude coming over here burning down my house. Are you out your fucking mind?
You knew what it was when we got together. Now let me get that notorious DIC.
What the fuck is a DIC?
Yeah?
Bitch, no, it's not. That's not how you spell it. Do you know how to spell?
Who cares, bro? I do not have to know how to spell. I'm a fucking princess. Spelling is for poor people.
Bitch, get your dumb ass up out of here.
Hey, where you going? Come fuck. What are you doing? At least get me down.
Bitch, my big ass getting up there to get you down. You got yourself up there to get your ass down. Use that dumb ass dress as a parachute.
It's me, Mario, motherfucker.
Oh, shit.
You really thought you was gonna take my bitch again,
Bro,
but I have to
listen,
see these hands.
I don't want her, bro. Look, I don't want her. You can have her. I did, bro. You look, bro.
You sound like a bitch, Bowser.
Bro, look, I'm coming to you as a man, bro. Like,
Man, man, you're a turtle sword.
Hey, can you tell this motherfucker what's going on?
Nope, should have threw me the dick when you had a chance.
Bro, just take her and leave. I don't want no smoke, bro.
Bro, you got smoke, bro. I got a fire flower. I'm about to set everything on motherfucking fire. I'm gonna take this mushroom and I'm gonna tear this whole motherfucking house down. Because when I take mushrooms, I get big as fuck for some reason. I don't know, I think it's the gas. But you have officially fucked up.
Hey people, I see you smiling, but did you actually hit that like button though? Well, if you want to check out the next part.
Hey everyone, it's me, Goku! Don't forget to subscribe to Unreal and Gaming. Here, you'll find the latest Dragon Ball news and content. Also, don't forget to like the video and follow Unreal on both Instagram and Twitter.
You, Kakarot, you will be the first to turn on notifications. And give this video a like right now, or else I'll destroy you!
as with the newly resurrected Goku Black now being shown having to re-enter Universe 10 and coming face to face with Gowasu again, it would only now appear as though Goku Black is not only looking to initiate and continue the events of his original Zero Mortals plan, but we also now see following the events of episode 1 with Goku Black now having to also come face to face with Universe 10's God of Destruction, as with Goku Black now met with what seemingly might be his most difficult challenge to date. This now begs the million-dollar question on whether or not Goku Black has what it takes to survive and endure the wrath of the God of Destruction of Universe 10, or if Goku Black is simply going to crumble under the pressure and ultimately being destroyed by Universe 10's destroyer. Now, before we dive any further into this video, if you are new to the channel and of course have a love and passion for all things Dragon Ball related, including its manga, anime, video games, fan animations, fan mangas, and more, in which would also like to be kept up to date with everything in regards to the Dragon Ball Super manga, the Dragon Ball Super anime, Dragon Ball video games, and any and all additional content within the Dragon Ball universe, then I do encourage you guys to head on over and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications by clicking on the bell icon to always be notified whenever a brand new video is posted onto the channel, as well as giving this video a big thumbs up by slapping that like button down below if you guys are simply excited to see what the future holds for the Dragon Ball franchise. And with all that being said, I want to thank you all so much for your time, thank you all so much for supporting the channel, and now let's dive straight into the video.
A Battle of Gods series.
As our story continues with Goku Black now being shown getting into fighting position as Black prepares to battle against Universe 10's God of Destruction, as with Goku Black now having to appear eerily calm, it was only from there where Goku Black went on to address Ramush by telling him, "I just want you to know one thing before you die. You aren't going to be facing the one Supreme Kai in training, no. You are dealing with a much more advanced and dangerous warrior than what you remembered me being," with Ramush responding, "I don't care what you claim to be, you will always and forever be known as the failure who never was in this universe. Now take action or I will take action for you," with Black now being shown dashing towards Ramush by shouting, "With pleasure, God of Destruction, now die!" But to Black's surprise, with Ramush being shown having to step out of the way with ease, it was only as Ramush was being shown having to be very confident in his ability to avoid Black's attack where Ramush went on to ask, "How truly pathetic, what was that? This power is a complete joke," with Black responding, "Why you?" As he only from there quickly attempted in slashing Ramush again, it was only upon Ramush having to grab Black's arm where Ramush went on to tell him, "Your attempts of showing me this so-called great power of yours is both laughable and sad," he says. "And you assume this blade of yours will be what cuts me down," he asks. "You are nowhere near as strong as you need to be to do such things. And you clearly do not understand the difference between a Kai's power and a destroyer's, but I'll make it clear to you," he says. "Now watch closely as I show you the reality of where you are and what you are up against," he says. As the God of Destruction was from there quickly shown having to lift Goku Black's body up in the air by then telling him, "Your blades of rage cannot compare to my divine power." He was then quickly shown having to smash Goku Black's body right back down onto the ground by then having to add even more insult to injury by telling him, "Down you go, you abomination. This is just embarrassing. Now die beneath my feet," Ramush shouts. But before Ramush could do anything about it, Ramush was only from there shown having to stomp on down and noticing that Goku Black's body was now hollow, as it was only then where Ramush went on to respond, "What's this? A decoy? An illusion?" But it didn't take the destroyer to figure out for long that Goku Black was on the ground the entire time, with Ramush now going as far as to raise his leg up in the air by then telling Black, "How sneaky of you, but you won't be using that same little trick on me twice." In which once again with Ramush attempting to stomp down on Goku Black, it was only from there where Goku Black had quickly gone as far as to teleport out of the way by asking, "What's wrong, destroyer? I thought you said this little trick of mine wasn't going to work on you twice nice, he says. There are plenty of more surprises that wait for you as this continues, Destroyer. Am I a bit too fast for you to keep up with? As Ramush had gone as far as to turn his head by asking, how were you able to get behind me without me having to see you move, he asks. As it was only within that moment with Ramush once again attempting to strike Black with Black's body being shown vanishing, it was only upon Ramush's point of contact where Goku Black went on to respond, it would seem as though the Saiyan's technique is more effective than you gave it credit for after all, isn't it? You can thank Son Goku's instant transmission technique for my increased movements. What did he just say this was called, Ramush asks? Instant transmission? But of course, it was as when the Saiyan mortal used it against Jiren during the tournament. Oh, I am much more than that pathetic Saiyan Son Goku, Black went on to shout. Maybe this will get you to embrace who and what I've become, he shouts. Apart from everything you've assumed I'd be, I am more than you can possibly imagine, Destroyer. As with Goku Black now seizing the opportunity in being able to finally connect a solid shot to Ramush's face, it was only upon Ramush being shown having to stumble back once where Ramush from there went on to respond, you dare raise your hand to my face and strike me as I am, Fallen Kai? You are the first to ever do such a thing apart from another Destroyer. And this itself could not get my blood pumping any more than this moment right now, he smiles. That wasn't half bad, to be honest with you. But don't tell me that was all the power that you have now, is it? Because if this is all that you are able to use in this fight against me, then you have already lost before the battle even started, Fallen Kaioshin. You're only running on borrowed time, with an annoyed Goku Black responding, Sir, how dare you talk to me as though I am some kind of amateur? Your infuriating ego is what'll get you killed in this fight, you irritating Destroyer. Your body is not equipped to survive many more of those, and so I want to run this experiment for myself and see what you're truly made of. This is not a game, Black shouts, as he was only from there once again shown dashing towards the Destroyer. He from there went on to then continue, I will not be treated like a child in this war against you gods. But with Ramush now being shown playing coy and having to avoid Goku Black's punch, it was only from there where the God of Destruction went on to respond by telling him, and here you say that I am the one who operates on ego. As from out of nowhere, we then see how Ramush had now gone as far as to uppercut Goku Black in the stomach by then telling him, I have been in this position many more times than you can ever even imagine, fool. Once again, know the difference between us. Get out of my face, you failure. As with Ramush now being shown having to punch Goku Black in the face so hard, in which had now resulted in Goku Black flying towards Gowasu. With Gowasu now being taken back by this, Gowasu quickly went on to respond, goodness, he's heading in my direction. In which, fortunately enough, with Gowasu being shown quickly having to leap out of the way, Goku Black's body was shown crashing through Gowasu's table, as it was more clear now that Goku Black in his base form could not do anything to match the Destroyer, as Ramush from there went on to comment, punishing you is strangely satisfying, especially knowing where you came from. Now, if this is the best that your so-called power is all about, then you are finished, and therefore, there is no need to drag this fight out any longer. I will slaughter you where you lie and end your existence like it once was so that I can go back to doing what I was doing before I came here onto this world to face you, Kai. So what's it going to be? Is there more fuel in that tank of yours, or is this the true limit of your pathetic power? Answer or die. You're a lot tougher to deal with than I imagined you'd be, Black says, but this is by no means the full extent of what I can truly do in battle, Destroyer. Consider yourself lucky, Black says, because what I'm about to show you is only going to be the first stage of my evolution moving going forward. I want you to witness my all. As we only from there see how Goku Black had now gone as far as to power up with incredible rage and intensity, even the God of Destruction himself had gone as far as to put this into question by asking, what's this energy? It feels divine. As it was only from that point where lo and behold, Goku Black had now finally gone as far as to transform, as Goku Black went on to tell the Destroyer, allow me to introduce to you the full extent of the Saiyan Goku's power. A divine and unrivaled power that I like to call my own, different than those disgusting mortals. And so this will be the last thing that your eyes will ever see before you die. This form of yours, the Destroyer says, it's different than the forms I've seen at the tournaments. What is this? But Goku Black was by no means in any kind of mood to answer Ramush by holding a conversation, as Goku Black went on to dash towards the Destroyer by telling him, let's not wait on the introduction, worm. We have a fight to finish, and I plan to finish this using everything I have to see you crumble beneath my feet. You ironically assume that I'd be running on borrowed time, but it is you who is limited in this fight. As we only from there see how Ramush had gone as far as to attempt to punch Black, with Black being shown having to avoid it, it was only from there where Ramush went on to respond, nothing you display is anything worthy of me taking seriously in this battle, especially since none of it is your own power to begin with. So then why do you appear to be nervous then, Black asks, as he was only from that point then being shown having to attack Ramush, where Goku Black went on to ask, is it because you know that my power is on the verge of surpassing yours? Is it because you know that I am going to cleanse the multiverse of your toxic influence? Is it because I am every bit as fit to take your place as a true god? Is it fear? I assume it's all of the above, isn't it, Black asks. You're shaking. A bit too much power behind those punches, I assume? But then, that was when Ramush had had enough, in now being shown having to scream with such fury that Ramush's own Vice Shout was actually now strong enough in bringing Goku Black back down to his base form, as with the Destroyer's Vice Shout now being shown emanating all across the land, Goku Black was shown holding onto his skull by shouting, oh my head! What is he doing? His shout knocked me out of my Super Saiyan robe. But then, before Goku Black could even finish his sentence, that was when Ramush was shown smashing his way into Goku Black by tackling him and responding, back down where you belong! Where is your fancy form now? Ramush shouts. Fight back, Fallen Kai! As Goku Black now was left defenseless on his back with Ramush being shown throwing a punch, it was only from that moment where Black was shown catching onto his fist by responding, no, I won't lose, especially not to you of all creatures. As with Black now being shown powering back into Super Saiyan Rose again, it was only from there where Black went on to continue, one way or another before this day is through, it will either be me who breaks down and loses in this battle, or it'll be you who burns out and dies, Black shouts. And I have no plans on going back into the grave again, Ramush. But the God of Destruction was not having it, as he was only from there shown unleashing an onslaught of punches onto Black's body. It was only from that point moving forward where Ramush went on to address Black by telling him, and that's assuming that we share the same kind of limitations, you disgusting animal. Watch as I grind your body into the ground. As with the God of Destruction now being shown applying even more pressure onto Black's body than before, it was only upon having to take such a beating where Goku Black had gone as far as to remember Vegeta by asking himself, oh, damn it all, if I don't find a way to turn things around against this worm, then I am as good as dead. Or curse these gods of destruction. What was it that Vegeta used in order to gain the upper hand against me? Yes, but of course, it was his rage, Black says. It was the Saiyan's rage that fueled him into getting stronger against me. That anger that courses through their body, which ignites the flame within them to burn brighter. I must find a way to tap into this rage, and fast, Black says. I cannot have what happened on that dead planet to happen to me here again. As with Goku Black now being shown left defenseless, as the God of Destruction Ramush had continued his onslaught, it was only upon Goku Black being shown having to take such punishment where Ramush went on to comment, is the reality of your fate starting to sink in yet? Are you beginning to realize the difference between your stolen power and mine? You were meant to uphold this universe's honor once Gowasu stepped down, but that wasn't good enough for you, now was it? You wanted to be like a destroyer, did you? Well, who are you to be granted such privilege that you didn't even earn, Ramush asks. Who are you to judge me for what I do? Your place was beneath us destroyers. And so let this be a painful reminder of that very example, you traitor. But it was even while this was going on where Gowasu had gone as far as to sit back up by having to lean on in and responding, something's wrong. Why isn't Black's power decreasing, Gowasu asks. What are those sparks that I am sensing that are coming from inside of that body of his? Does Ramush not sense it? Is his body adapting to the destroyer's punishment? As with the god of destruction Ramush now being shown having to lean on down by grabbing Goku Black by the hair, it was only from there where Ramush went on to tell him, I must admit, Fallen Kai, I certainly wasn't expecting for you to hold out for as long as you did in this fight, but I've seen all that I needed from you. What did you think was going to happen, Ramush questions? Did you really believe that you were strong enough to match my power, you fool? You put up a decent fight, but now it's time to send you back to where you belong, he says. Keeping you around any longer than I need to would be too great of a risk, with Black responding, you haven't beaten me yet, destroyer. Silence, you disgraceful worm, Ramush shouts. It's time that you face the full force of what lies behind a god of destruction. As with the god of destruction Ramush now looking to put an end to Goku Black once and for all, it was only right then and there during that moment where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super story of Goku Black's resurrection manga chapter number 2 special then comes to a close. Now, what exactly is Gowasu now beginning to sense that is emanating from Goku Black's body that even the god of destruction Ramush himself seems to be overlooking in this fight, as it kind of almost seems as though Goku Black is finished but not really, which essentially now begs the question going into manga chapter number 3, and that's, will Goku Black have what it takes to turn the tides against Ramush, or will it simply be a wash with the god of destruction finally erasing Goku Black once and for all? As again, I do want to thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so very much for your time to where, once again, if you guys also just so happen to be new to this channel, then I do encourage you guys to head on over and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications by clicking on that bell icon, to where that way you guys never miss a single video that is posted.
So as y'all notice, this Super Saturday is a battle of gods. Ooh, look at how he was getting it in. You have to do by the hair. See, all in the pink. There's 20% Rose was fighting the pink guy first. Ayy.
The Saiyans were pretty weak. Vegeta, the strongest Saiyan working under Frieza, wasn't even the strongest member of Frieza's army. Or was he? People just look at Vegeta's power level of 18,000 and think he gets beaten by Frieza's mid-tier fighters like Zarbon and Dodoria, but with the Ozaru form, Vegeta has a power level of 180,000. That makes him stronger than Captain Ginyu, and by extension, the strongest member of Frieza's army. Saiyans were only getting stronger with each passing generation, so eventually, even an Ozaru Saiyan could be enough to challenge Frieza's throne. No wonder he wiped them out.
As I do want to go as far as to address something with all of our dear viewers at the moment, as before I go.
Jesus Christ, really? Don't forget to become a member of Unrelent Gaming's Patreon for exclusive manga content and early access. Isn't that right, Seth?
I already joined his Patreon today. Tons of great stuff on there, actually. But did you really have to blow up the city?
Yes.
Blew up the dominoes. You blew up the dominoes, and you're laughing. Do you realize the f***ing crisis here?
And you will be next. Unless you subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications right now.
Or else what? You'll aggressively scream another man's name for several hours?
Kakarot! Kakarot!
Well, this was certainly an unexpected but yet very surprising turn of events, especially since this was what the Omni Kings had originally intended to have happen. But now that the other gods are made well aware of what the Omni Kings had decided to go and do, I wonder on how this will affect their standing with these new destroyers and what the implications are now that the Omni Kings have decided to make their presence known by doing what they just did.
As our story now continues back on Beerus' planet, with the Grand Priest shown moments away from making his grand announcement to all those who were present, as with all of the remaining gods of destruction now beginning to assemble as each and every single angel was shown bowing, was when the Grand Priest went on to respond, "Today marks a momentous occasion in the annals of our cosmic history, for the Omni Kings, in a decision that reflects their extraordinary vision, have enacted a change that will redefine the very fabric of our multiverse as we know it. And as I relay this news to you, my heart swells with excitement and anticipation, for I know that the implications of this will echo in the corridors of every corner of the universe," the Grand Priest continues. "And very soon I will extend this grand announcement to our remaining gods of destruction and angels, but it is you, our distinguished guest here in Universe 7, who will be the first to hear it. So welcome all, both angels, destroyers, and our wonderful mortal guests over there, for I now require your full and undivided attention, please," to which, as Reno was then shown having to walk past Gardox, was when the god of destruction Gardox went on to respond, "So do you feel more accomplished now that you were able to go about your business and defeat Lord Champa in battle, Reno? Because I sure do hope that you know that this changes nothing between us," Gardox continues, "because if you were still to assume that you are truly the mightiest god of destruction among the rest of us just because you were able to take down that loudmouth, then I want to assure you that you, my dear old friend, are sadly mistaken and extremely delusional," with Reno responding, "Do not go and overstep your boundaries here, Gardox, because I'll have no problem doing onto you just as I was shown doing onto him. And for the last time, that's Beerus, you ridiculous little troll, not Champa." In which moments later, as all of the other gods of destruction were then shown having to bow their heads, was when the Grand Priest went on to chime back in, "Excellent, well alright then, and now that everyone has gathered together, it's time for the message to be delivered. And although I understand that what I'm about to tell you all will come at a sudden and surprising shock to you all, but just know that none of the following information that will be conveyed is without cause or reason." In which, in the meantime, when then going back on over to Beerus and seeing as to how Beerus was finally able to move and attempting to now be shown standing back up, was when Beerus then went on to say to himself, "Oh, how utterly embarrassing. How could I have allowed for something like this to even happen? And to think that I, of all destroyers, would find myself bested in battle by Reno, as it feels so inconceivable, for I always believed that my unrivaled strength and my ability to stand toe-to-toe with any challenger would go unmatched. And yet here I am. Oh, but this isn't the end, for this will be my ultimate opportunity. An opportunity to reassess and strengthen my resolve and rise again, stronger and more determined than ever. Mark my words, Reno." As Goku then went on to address the Grand Priest by then having to respond, "Hey, wait, so if this big announcement that you're getting ready to reveal comes directly by the Omni Kings, then don't you think that they should be here to also be a part of this moment too?" With the Grand Priest responding, "Well, actually, to be fair, Goku, the Omni Kings are far too busy enjoying their brand new Budokai video game to pay much attention to, which is why I am here to make sure that the message goes through just as I had promised them. But nevertheless, as massive as one may assume for the multiverse to be," the Grand Priest continues, "it would only now appear as though the multiverse has just gotten bigger, especially with how passionate the Omni Kings are in always trying to find of new ways to uphold their entertainment. And so, with that being said, those who currently exist among the now 18 universes will soon come to find out that they are not alone, for there are more, and if they just so choose, could go about by introducing and bringing forward many, many more, as Whis went on to finally address Beerus by then responding, well, despite the outcome of what was just shown taking place here, my faith in you had never wavered, my lord, for you did the best that you could with the situation that you were placed in, but please, allow me to assist you in your recovery and heal you, Lord Beerus, for I want you to know that you fought valiantly against Lord Reno, and I am here to help you regain your strength, and as I know that this setback is merely just a temporary one, with Beerus having to respond, don't, Whis, though I appreciate your offer, this is a burden that I must bear alone, for it wasn't Reno who had defeated me, but rather I had defeated myself, Beerus continues, as it's clear to me on what I have to do, for I will face Reno again, mark my words. He'll see, they will all see, that much I can promise, as the Grand Priest then went on to continue. Now to further clarify, the Omni Kings, after careful consideration, have decided to address the imbalance that was caused by the resurrection of the 6 previously destroyed universes. And because they had been made aware, they have deemed it to be fit to bring into existence 2 more universes in order to keep things even, as they figured that 20 would be fair. As this decision itself was not taken lightly, for the creation of a universe is a sacred and monumental act in reflecting the profound will of the Omni Kings to maintain order and symmetry within the multiverse, the Grand Priest continues. For these new universes will not only restore symmetry, but will also bring forth new life, new possibilities, and new experiences to our ever-expanding tapestry of existence, which also happens to include 2 new gods of destruction along with 2 new angel attendees as well. And although recently created, these destroyers are not without great wisdom and unimaginable power, so do bear that in mind. My sincere apologies for not being able to greet you any sooner upon your arrival onto my planet, your majesty, Beerus went on to bow by uttering, for I was simply caught up within the moments before being able to get to you, with the Grand Priest responding, there you are, Lord Beerus, apology accepted, but I do hope that you are able to clean yourself up in any case. But to go back to what I was saying, there are many worlds and many timelines which many of you may not even think were to exist, some of which that may happen to contain destroyers who have been corrupted, while others which may even house mortals who were able to reach angel levels of power, along with mastering the power of a god of destruction themselves. That, fellow gods, is the beauty of life. But here in this timeline, I will hereby go and open the first seal by introducing you all to the first of the 2 new gods of destruction, beginning with Universe 19, which was created and put together by none other than the future Omni King, while the present Omni King went about by putting together and creating Universe 20. And in the grand continuum of existence, where parallel timelines and alternate dimensions offer limitless possibilities, the creation of these 2 new universes is a significant event meticulously orchestrated by none other than the Omni Kings to ensure proper balance within the multiverse. And so, I would like to hereby present the first of these new worlds, beginning with Universe 19, which the future Omni King refers to as the Fearsome One, with Universe 16's God of Destruction Ferrix responding, timelines and worlds which may carry over mortals wielding powers above gods and rivaling that of angels? Interesting. As Gardox went on to chime in, well, I highly doubt for any of that to be true due to mortals being incapable of maintaining such power, but I'm rather more curious about these other new gods now, as the Grand Priest went on to continue. And so without any further delay, I call upon Universe 19's angel attendee Vini and its governing god of destruction Tigron to come forward and introduce yourselves to your fellow gods and mortal guests within Universe 7.
Now, for those that wasn't paying attention, what the Grand Priest basically just said, since y'all 6 weak-ass universes just got reinstated, we had to bring 2 new universes in, two up, that are strong as hell, apparently, because the mortals in these universes are pulling Gokus and Vegetas. So, therefore, you see, you got to pay attention to that. You see what I'm saying? That's the part you got to pay attention to. He said, yeah, the mortals in their universes. just peep the story. Just peep.
Oh, and please do note that this will be the first time outside of myself and the Omni Kings themselves who has seen and greeted these two, the Grand Priest continues, with of course the exception of the angels whom already know of Vini of course, but nevertheless we welcome you. In which upon that very moment as the God of Destruction Tigron was from there shown having to step forward was when Goku went on to then respond, whoa. Are you able to sense that wild level of power as well, Broly? So this is one of the two new gods of destruction that the future Omni King had decided to go and create? Oh wow, and this guy is just as big and even meaner looking than those other gods too. So this is him, the new god of a new universe, Broly questions? Amazing. To which seconds later within that very moment, as both Universe 19's Angel Vini and Universe 19's God of Destruction Tigron were from there shown having to emerge, was when this had now become the very first time that anyone else outside of the Grand Priest and Omni Kings had seen or met them, as the Grand Priest went on to then continue. And now, fellow guests, I hereby want to introduce you all to Lord Tigron and his angel Vini. As foreseen and esteemed by the future Omni King, this deity represents and is the embodiment of both fearsomeness and rationality, a rare combination for his actions, while also deemed to be extremely aggressive, are always underlined by a sense of profound deliberation and unwavering acceptance, the Grand Priest continues, and is put together by the future Omni King. Universe 19 ranks among the top 3 in not only having the highest ranking mortal levels among all of the other universes, but is also considered to be a universe that houses the greatest training domain for its existing life forms as well, deeming this as the combat universe. So a supposed destroyer with proper balance, is he? Destroyer Grizzlor went on to then question, and what is that supposed to mean for the rest of us then, huh? For I don't sense anything different about this destroyer, but there may be a deeper and greater level of power that he's more than likely masking beneath the surface. Well, a combat universe, huh? Destroyer Primos went on to chime in. Well, so what? For this god of destruction had never engaged against any of us to truly scale, and so I'm not worried about this one here one bit, for we should all already know as to who the real strongest among the gods truly is, as I highly doubt that it's going to be this one here, as the God of Destruction Gardox went on to chime in. So you're a fearsome destroyer god, are you? Well, you don't seem to be scaring anyone here, which only makes me wonder more about what you stand for. Are you really as good as the Grand Minister makes you out to be, or are you simply a trophy with no real substance? I don't know about this one, fellow gods, with Gardox being shown walking on over and kicking Tigron in the leg. Well, if you're so fearsome as they say, then why don't you go and show us as to just how fearsome and all-powerful you really are then? Go on and give us a demonstration of why we should even give you the time of day, Destroyer. Go on, don't pull a Beerus here, big guy. Come on, go and do some. But then, it was just from out of nowhere, the moment Tigron went on to lean on down by roaring in Gardox's face, was when Tigron then went on to shout, "Touch me again and I will make sure that it'll be the last time that you come in contact with anything ever again, God of Destruction. Now, unless you wish to be destroyed, then get out of my face." Whoa, man, that Universe 19 God of Destruction sure does look like a very mean one, especially with that really loud roar of his. Goku responds, with Whis chiming in, yes, as it doesn't appear like Lord Tigron is willing to put up with any sort of games that the other destroyers might want to play with him. No, which only reminds me of the time when all destroyers were seemingly like this one. Fellow gods of destruction, I am Lord Tigron, ruler of Universe 19, and the latest to join your ranks after proving myself to be worthy of being named a god of destruction. However, do not mistaken me for a mere newcomer, for my capabilities in the art of destruction and combat are unmatched, standing at a level that some of you might aspire to but may never reach. And though I come here without the desire to start trouble, I assure you that if trouble were to find me, then I will leave nothing left of it by the time the day has passed. And so do not mistaken me for an amateur, as the God of Destruction Primos went on to the question, oh look, do you hear that, Grizzlor? Looks like we indeed have some competition now, with Grizzlor responding, yes, maybe we do, Primos, but we'll be the judge of where you stand among us, Lord Tigron, so we'll see. And so now then, fellow guests, for last but certainly not least, least, I would like to hereby call forward Universe 20's God of Destruction Ligor and his fellow angel attendee Jindro. For the present Omni King had went and designed this world to be a world of peace, but also incredible and untold power. In which within that very moment, as both Angel Jindro and Universe 20's God of Destruction Ligor were from there shown having to step on through, was when Goku then went on to respond, "Whoa, are you guys able to sense that really strange yet extremely dense energy too?" As seconds later, with Universe 20's God of Destruction and Angel now shown having to step fully through, was when the Grand Priest went on to chime back in, and there they are, for I hereby welcome you all in meeting Lord Ligor and his angel Jindro, for it was as foreseen and esteemed by the present Omni King that this deity represents and is the embodiment of absolute destruction, for this god was forged into being the beacon of what true balance and power stands for, along with being known as a fearsome deity who embodies the rarest form of strength. And with how the present Omni King deems it, Universe 20 ranks as the #1 universe among the other 19, as having the highest mortal level, as well as being known as the Enlightened Universe, the Grand Priest continues, for it is a place where many great warriors reside, as well as being known as a universe that deals in honor and great absolute within the multiverse. There's something different about this one, just as I had suspected with Lord Tigron, Destroyer Ferrix went on to chime in, for I can sense something far greater that circles within Lord Ligor's very spirit, as I wonder if this has anything to do with how the Omni King had framed this universe as being the enlightened world. And I am fairly certain that I am not the only one who is able to sense this coming from him either, with Goku having to respond, "Oh wow, well there's something that you don't see every day, just look at those two." And to think that there's a god of destruction who appears to be very kind and respectful, it almost makes me kind of wonder as to what this guy is all about and just how strong he truly is. But then again, I'm sure that there's a reason as to why that is, to which as Tigron and Ligor were then shown having to acknowledge each other was when Universe 19's Destroyer went on to respond, "Greetings, fellow god of destruction, for it is a pleasure to be within your presence once again, Lord Ligor, for it's been quite some time since we've last seen one another," with Ligor responding, "The pleasure is mine, fellow god of destruction, for it is always an honor to see and stand with you, and especially before the Most High, as I offer you my appreciation in also being here with us," with Primos having to chime in, "What is with these two? How could two rivaling destroyers be so honorable and respectful towards one another in knowing who the other is? It almost makes me want to vomit. Respect should be earned, not given," with Grizzlor having to respond, "Well, perhaps we should go and remind them then of who exactly is in command and why it's a sign of weakness to give someone your respect and appreciation towards without ever having to earn it. But I do, however, agree with what Lord Ferrix had mentioned, for there does appear to be something that these two over here are hiding. And to you, the esteemed Grand Priest Ligor continues, I extend my deepest gratitude for this summoning, as it is an honor beyond words to stand before you and my fellow gods of destruction in meeting them all for the very first time. And as this is also a crucial step in my evolution as a destroyer, and your generosity in making this possible is something that I will always hold in high regard, with the Grand Priest responding, and I second this, for I am also very thankful that you would take the time out of your busy day to come and join us, mighty god of destruction. And as for you, esteemed gods of destruction, I am honored to finally meet you all, for I am Lord Ligor, god of destruction of Universe 20. And as the opportunity to meet you all is one that I have long awaited, Ligor continues, for your legendary exploits, your contributions to the cosmic balance, and your unparalleled strength are all very well known to me. Oh really, Primos went on to question, is that so? You stand here speaking of honor and opportunity, Grizzlor went on to chime in, but let me be clear, Destroyer, such sentiments hold little weight among the old guard that stands before you, so do not mistaken our silence for acceptance, for in our ranks your strength and actions will speak louder than your appreciation. That's right, Primos responds, so you may be honored to meet us, but don't expect for that same sentiment to be reciprocated in return, Destroyer. And as a new god of destruction, your time is more than likely limited, as the same could be said for Lord Lord Tigron too. To which, even despite with all of the hostility, instead of having to engage against them, what Ligor ended up doing was bowing forward before leaving, as Ligor then went on to respond, "Very interesting choice of words, Destroyer, but I did not come here to engage in petty squabbles, but to fully commit my role as a god of destruction with honor and dignity. However, I do want you all to remember that the true measure of a god's power is often hidden beneath a veil of humility, for in time you will see exactly as to why that is that I was chosen in being the last of the mighty gods of destruction. I wouldn't go and start crossing lines here if I were you, god of destruction," Reno went on to then respond, "because before you entertain any grandiose notion of your strength, just know that many have fallen before you, and their names are now nothing more but whispers in the wind. For the last god of destruction who thought themselves as unbeatable had become the prime example of what happens when arrogance begins to overtake reason. And he's barely shown standing right over there behind me," Reno continues, "defeated, humiliated, and left to serve as an example of what happens when your ego starts to talk for you. And so while you still have the chance, it's best for you to turn around and go back to your universe before things get messy around here. And so I won't go and warn you again either. Now do yourself a favor and accept this moment to turn around and go." But then, it was just within the quickness with Ligor being shown grabbing onto Reno's hand before Reno even had the opportunity to touch him, was when Ligor then went on to respond, "Your approach, fellow Destroyer, though boastful, appears to overlook the intricacies and importance of our position. For I would advise a more measured and respectful demeanor, as our words, along with our actions, tend to echo beyond the confines of our immediate surrounding," with Reno being shown responding, "You what? How dare you go and lay your hands on me with such aggression? For you are but a new god of destruction, and so you better let go of me right now," with Ligor responding, "Your pride and lack of respect for others may seem inconsequential now, but they are seeds that could grow into becoming a much bigger problem later." To which, as Ligor went on to point towards Reno's chest, was when Ligor then went on to continue, "And if respect for others, including fellow gods of destruction, is not within your realm of consideration, Lord Reno, then the only way that you will learn is by learning the hard way, for the universe is an unforgiving teacher, and it will impose lessons upon those who ignore the value of mutual respect with swift and severe consequences." In which, before you know it, with Ligor being shown tapping onto Reno's chest, and from that point sending Reno flying out into the distance, was when Grizzlor went on to chime in, "What the? Did the rest of you just see what this new Destroyer just did? Oh, but how did he just do that without him being shown putting up much of an effort to push Lord Reno back like this? Impressive, isn't it, Lord Grizzlor?" Ferrix went on to question, "for maybe there is much more to these new Destroyers than what we are able to see on the surface." Wow, Goku responds, "This god of destruction was barely shown even having to lift a single finger, and was just already shown having to push Lord Reno back with such tremendous force so casually. That was unbelievable, and it happened so fast," with Whis chiming in, "Indeed, for it almost reminds me of when Lord Beerus was in his prime. And as it's also very clear to me that these new Destroyers are very different from the ones we know." And what's this? Mortal warriors on a Destroyer's homeworld, Ligor questions. How very unusual, yet extremely interesting, as it was only right then and there now during that moment where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super story of the resurrected fallen gods of destruction, the Universe 14 saga manga chapter number 7 special then comes to a close.
Actually, I'll go and take it from here, as I do want to go as far as to address something with all of our dear viewers at the moment. As before I go and give you the following information, if you aren't already a member of Unreal's Patreon community, then you are truly missing out on so much without you even knowing. As not only is the next episode already on the page, but if you want to support all of the content that you see and gain access to tons of exclusives along the way, then we do encourage for you all to become members of our Patreon community today, for we will link it all down in the description box below and pinned comment section. And so now, in the grand design of the cosmos, balance is a principle of paramount importance, especially when it comes to the gods of destruction. And as seen, the Omni Kings have chosen the likes of Tigron and Ligor for their ability to maintain maintain this delicate balance in their respective universes, as beneath their calm exteriors, I sense tremendous power and a vast reservoir of strength that they have yet to fully unveil to the other gods of destruction. It is a power that piques my curiosity, making me wonder about the true extent of their capabilities compared to our already established deities, but I'm sure that we will learn more about their nature very soon. So we hope you are all ready for what Unreal has in store for you all very soon. So we hope you all enjoyed, as we will see you all on Patreon and in the next video. Have a wonderful day, everyone.
Hello. Did you know that you can stay up to date with the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to Unrelent Gaming?
Also, don't forget to follow on these social media platforms, you sexy son of a bitch.
Roshi.
Silent Cell. Me and the fans are having a moment. That's right. I know what you want. Extra long, thick Dragon Ball content. Quality reviews with flawless editing. Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? You dirty bitch.
Roshi, the fuck?
God damn it.
Jesus Christ, really?
Don't forget to become a member of Unrelent Gaming's Patreon for exclusive manga content and early access. Isn't that right, Seth?
I already joined his Patreon today. Tons of great stuff on there, actually. But did you really have to blow up the city?
Yes.
You blew up the dominoes. You blew up the dominoes, and you're laughing. Do you realize the fucking crisis here?
And you will be next. Unless you subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications right now.
Or else what? You'll aggressively scream another man's name for several hours?
Kakarot! Kakarot!
Well, this was something that I had not foresee coming, especially with how the Omni Kings had decided on creating 2 additional universes in order for there to be balance among the rest of us. But there appears to be something far more that I sense coming from these 2 new gods of destruction that I simply cannot put my finger on. But with them aside, it looks as though Universe 14's god of destruction, Cobras, has returned, as it also now appears that he's brought Vegeta on back with him. While I do fear that this is not the same Vegeta that we've seen be taken from us before.
As our story continues now back on Beerus' planet with the newly crowned Universe 20 God of Destruction Ligor being shown having to approach both Broly and Goku, as with Broly now seemingly on edge with Goku trying to do his best in calming Broly down, was when Ligor then went on to respond, "Fear not, mortals, for my intentions towards the 2 of you are not of hostility, but rather more of intrigue. Your presence here, especially under the watch of a God of Destruction, is something that I find fascinating to say the least, for it's not often that mortals such as as yourselves are shown having to dwell amongst gods of destruction, and for that, Universe 7's God of Destruction has more than likely deemed you to be worthy if you're allowed to roam freely around here, with Goku responding, "Easy there, Broly, let's just try and remain relaxed here and hear what he has to say, okay?" With Ligor continuing, "I can assure you that our meeting today is not a prelude to a coming conflict, but more of an opportunity to gain a better understanding. For there is no reason for there to be any sort of conflict between us, and no reason to ignite a battle that was never meant to be. For your presence here on this plane is a sign of trust, mortal warriors, and so I am grateful. And to you," Ligor then went on to bow by addressing Whis, "you must be Universe 7's guardian and angel attendee, for it is with the utmost respect and honor that I meet you, for your reputation according to my angel Jinro precedes you," Ligor continues, "as that of Universe 7's God of Destruction as well, mighty angel," with Whis responding, "Well, it is indeed refreshing to encounter a God of Destruction who approaches their role with such honor and respect, as your presence here in Universe 7 brings on a new dynamic and one that I welcome wholeheartedly," with Goku having to then chime in, "Are you sure that you're an actual God of Destruction here, Lord Ligor? I mean, you seem to come off way too nice and far too noble compared to those other destroyers, which I gotta say is also a bit refreshing to see, as Whis had pointed out, but it's hard to get a good read on your power because, well, it almost feels like you're trying to hide it, which I then gotta ask if you are, because you honestly look really strong, especially with how you were shown pushing Lord Reno like that," with Ligor responding, "Well, that's because I am, actually, but your presence here, along with your very essence, tells a story of unwavering determination and relentless pursuit of finding a greater power, is that right? For I can already gauge you both by searching your souls without the need to engage in a duel, for you appear to be just as curious about me as I am about the two of you," Ligor continues, "I have witnessed many warriors come and go, but very few possess the kind of inherent potential and earned strength that the both of you display before me, as it goes on to speak volumes on not just of your power, but of your character and resilience as well, especially with you, Goku. And if you ever find the time and wish to visit our realm, then the door to Universe 20 stands open for you," Ligor continues, "for as warriors who have earned Beerus's trust, you have my respect and invitation, as within our realm you will find many challenges and experiences that will further hone your abilities to new levels, if of course you can endure it, but I will leave that up for you to decide. As to further show my respect, I hereby offer you my hand as a sign of pride and nobility," with Goku responding, "Oh wow, well this is something that we're not certainly used to coming across from a god, but we'd be more than honored to drop by sometime and pay your universe a friendly visit, Lord Ligor, as I'm also really curious about how strong you truly are compared to the other gods of destruction." Goku went on to shake Ligor's hand, as Ligor then went on to respond, "And maybe one day you will, son Goku, as I will go and leave you with this, for I want you to just know that there is a reason as to why I'm different when compared to the other 19 destroyers, and that reason is simple. For the reason as to why I am different mainly lies in the origins of my power and the path that I have decided to walk down as a god of destruction, for this was not the only path that I have chosen to walk down, for it is a path that is filled with many secrets and insights into the nature of balance that so very few could possibly understand, and right now, I'm sure that you were able to feel a glimpse of it too," with Goku having to shockingly respond, What was that just now? That was only just a glimpse of what your true power is like?" with Ligor continuing, "Take that for what you will, but if you ever wish to find out, then perhaps one day I will afford you the liberty by going out of my way to show you, and don't worry, because I can also sense the power of Ultra Instinct running through your veins as well," Ligor continues, "which I can now start to see on why you were allowed to be here, Goku," with Goku having to then question, "Wait, you've chosen to walk down another path aside from your destroyer one? And how could you have known that I am able to channel the power of Ultra Instinct like that just by having to shake my hand? I don't understand," with Ligor responding, responding, "In time, young warrior, for rest assured the tale of my strength and the power that I bear will one day be revealed. As I am not the only master here, for Lord Tigron has also achieved a great and ferocious power that many couldn't comprehend. But this also applies to you, Broly, was it? Yes, for I can see the fire that burns within your eyes as it burns with a great and mighty battle cry," Ligor continues. "And although I can sense that you still have a long way to go before you can control yourself, I have no doubt that you will master this in due time, young warrior." Which upon that very moment, as Broly was also then having to shown shaking Ligor's hand, was when Ligor then went on to continue, "Interesting, for as I shake your hand, I can feel a tremor within your immense and massive power that lies deep within. Yes, as well as also feeling the pulse of your determination in wanting to evolve yourself as well. For I see now as the two of you are certainly gifted in your own unique ways, which is why I am looking forward to our next encounter at a later time. As that there behind you must be your ruling destroyer of Universe 7, Ligor continues, though in rough shape. If the two of you would excuse me, for I would like to go and have a quick word with Universe 7's God of Destruction for a moment, for I can see both a fierce focus and daunting confliction that comes from him, for a destroyer's resolve is never one to be overlooked nor for it to be ignored, and thus I would like to take this moment and speak with him alone." "Oh, how dare this so-called new God of Destruction go and touch me," Reno then went on to quickly respond. "Oh, now that does it. What?" To which from out of nowhere, before God of Destruction Reno could even go as far as to act, was when Universe 19's newly crowned God of Destruction Tigron was from there shown standing in Reno's way, as Tigron then went on to respond, "Even though it was you who went and nearly started this fight to begin with, it would be wise for you to stand down from this position that you are willing to take before things get out of hand, God of Destruction. So you will not go any further unless you are willing to try and get through me first to do it." To which in the meantime, as Universe 20's God of Destruction Ligor was from that point shown having to finally meet Beerus, was when Ligor then went on to respond, "And then there is you, honorable destroyer of the 7th universe. It is with great respect and a deep sense of honor that I introduce myself to you, for your reputation as a formidable and wise God of Destruction precedes you. For it is truly an honor to stand within your presence, as your accomplishments and your journey as a God of Destruction are well known across the multiverse. And to finally meet you is not just a privilege, but a moment that I have been looking forward to with great anticipation since becoming a destroyer. And although I may not know the full story as to why you are in this position that you are currently in," Ligor went on to put his hand on Beerus' shoulder, "I want you to rise through the ashes of this momentary defeat, Lord Beerus. For our bodies, though strong, can't defy time. And because of this, let this loss be the dawn of a new chapter in your story. For within you lies a reservoir of untapped potential and a strength that was forged through millennia of challenges," Ligor continues, "as this defeat is but a momentary darkness, for you and I both know on what must be done in order for you to rise." As a surprised Beerus then went on to respond, "Wait, so you know? But how could you possibly be aware of my dormant potential if this is our first ever encounter in meeting face to face like this, destroyer?" With Ligor responding, "It was as I had said to your mortal guest Son Goku, for the path of a God of Destruction was not the only path that I set out to go and walk down, Lord Beerus." "Wait, then if walking down the path and becoming a God of Destruction was not the only path that you had taken into becoming what you are now, then that must only mean that certainly you didn't you?" With Ligor having to smirk by responding, "If what I suspect for you to assume is to be true, then yes, for that was the path that I have taken. But nevertheless, as a God of Destruction, you possess not just the power to obliterate, but the resilience to rise again and become stronger and far more formidable than you ever were before. As I want you to remember this for once you and I go and meet again." "So that is why then," Beerus responds, "I should have known. Well, for what it's worth, you have my respect, Lord Ligor. As I also want you to know that the next time we meet, I will not be in the same condition as the one you've seen." With Ligor responding, "I look forward to our next encounter, mighty God of Destruction, for I'm sure that by the time we do, you will be far more than what you ever could have possibly imagined for yourself to be, and so I hereby take my leave." "Oh, well now, excellent," the Grand Priest went on to then clap by responding, "and so now that I'm glad to see everyone go and introduce themselves, it is time that I head out and break the news to the other remaining gods of destruction and their angels as well. As with that said, let each of the gods who are here go and take their leave and heading back into their own respective universes, please. For let us go and reserve our energies and contentions for a far more appropriate moment, the Grand Priest continues, for it is within the best interest of the cosmic order that we maintain composure and return back to one's own respective world, please. Oh, come now, Pinota, Destroyer Reno went on to then quickly address, for we will go and deal with the outcome of what these new destroyers have put forward along with their acts of disrespect at a later time. Come now and let us take our leave, for I've seen all that I needed to see here today, God of Destruction Grizzler went on to then also respond, as both of those new gods of destruction along with those puny mortals that Beerus had allowed to roam freely on his world have most definitely not seen the last of us. That much I can assure them, with Destroyer Primos chiming in, and I second that, but if all else, I have a bone to pick with the bigger of the two mortals over there, as he is by far the most interesting of the bunch, and once I deal with him, then those new destroyers will be next for me to go and pay a visit to. That much I can promise as well. But then, it was only off to the side where Universe 15's God of Destruction Gardox had gone as far as to sense something, as Gardox then went on to respond, wait a second, what could that very strange and unusually large energy signature be if it's not coming from any of us gods of destruction that are here? For this doesn't appear to come from no god, as it appears to be coming from a mortal body instead, Gardox continues, but a power that large to be felt from all the way out here? I must go and find out as to what that is and where it's coming from, but more importantly, from whom. Vodkel, listen to me. Instead of returning and going back to Universe 15, God of Destruction Gardox went on to address his angel by responding, I want you to listen closely and take us to where that large energy signature was just felt within the 7th, as it would be wise for us to hurry and make our way there undetected, for I do not wish for anyone else to see us go there, for they might want to go and do the same, understand? For I sense a planet that seems to house a very powerful mortal warrior, and so I must go and see this for myself at once. And so now let us go, with the Grand Priest having to address everyone one more time by then responding, and with that, I hope that you all take care of yourselves, as it is always a pleasure to see you both, Lord Beerus and Whis, as well as you too, Son Goku, including your other new Saiyan friend Broly as well. So may you all go and take care. Oh, and do try your best in staying out of trouble, especially for you, Lord Beerus. And you might want to go and patch yourself up as well, for those wounds of yours don't look too good, the Grand Priest continues. And anyways, friends, fellow angels, and destroyers, I bid you all a farewell, as Goku then went on to respond, man, how absolutely wild. So many ridiculously powerful gods of destruction, and yet their power all feels so mysterious, especially with those newer gods of destruction that were recently created. Hurry it now, for we must go and get down to the bottom of whatever that energy may be and what the source of its power is, Gardox went on to address his angel by taking their leave, because if Beerus is housing mortals in this universe that could rival a god's power, then I want to see this for myself. Oh well, and thank you all for coming, Grand Minister Whis went on to then address, for I bid you all a farewell and thank you all for coming here and joining us for this event, as Universe 18's God of Destruction Primos went on to address Broly by then telling him, and as for you, don't assume that I've forgotten, mortal, because I'll be seeing you and your little friend very soon, you hear me? And for what it's worth, I'm going to make sure that you pay for ever daring to oppose my presence, you hear me? You, mortal. I'll be back for you soon, as Universe 13's God of Destruction Reno also went on to address Beerus by then telling him, so long for now then, Beerus, and let this day forever be remembered in our history as the day that you lost your edge. For you are nothing like you once were, and therefore you will always and forever be known as second best when compared to me, Beerus. And so now don't ever dream of challenging me to a battle after today ever again. And so good riddance and goodbye, as Goku then went on to shout, well, so long everyone, and thank you so much for dropping on by, Grand Minister. We hope to see you all again soon, and thank you for your wise words, Lord Ligor, as I'll make sure to go and make a note of what it it is that you said to us, as Whis went on to then turn his head by then noticing Beerus walking away by responding, "Now hold on there, is everything alright with you, Lord Beerus? And just where exactly do you plan on going? Do you not wish to go into Universe 14 and confront Lord Cobras for abducting Vegeta?" With Beerus responding, "While this moment is still fresh, you know exactly where it is that I'm going, and you know damn well as to what I'm about to do, Whis. And I'm serious, for I need you to understand the gravity of my resolve, Whis, because with what was shown taking place here today, ranging from my loss to Lord Reno in front of everyone, to this feeling of inadequacy, I vow to never repeat what happened against him or any other destroyer happen again, as I've rested long enough. For my training, my focus, and my entire approach to my role as a destroyer must hereby change. And so you could go and send Goku and Broly to go get Vegeta back instead, for I plan on becoming far stronger from this day moving forward and far more adept than I ever was shown having to be before, even when in my prime, Whis." And with those two new gods of destruction that were introduced, my eyes couldn't have been more opened. But then, it was only from out of nowhere, shockingly enough, once again from behind them, where a loud explosion was then seen, as seemingly enough someone was then shown having to arrive, as Goku then went on to respond, "Oh, whoa, and just what in the world is that just now? Oh, don't tell me that there's more. Wait, no, that energy, could it be?" As shockingly enough, from out of nowhere, with Universe 14's God of Destruction Cobras alongside with his angel and the newly infected Vegeta having to be shown arriving, was when Cobras then went on to respond, well, so I trust that you haven't missed my presence too dearly while I've been away from your universe for the time being, Beerus. For my return marks not just a reunion, but a demonstration of the profound changes that I have instilled in your former students, Vegeta. And as I hope that you are prepared to witness this transformation that your former warrior here had made while under my influence, and as the time that we had spent apart has been put to excellent use, for he is no longer just the proud Saiyan warrior that you once knew, but a warrior who has been reborn in my image, Cobras continues, honed by my guidance and under my watch, has undergone a metamorphosis in both his spirit and his power that is so profound that it will surely astound even you, Beerus, for he now goes and serves me as his new master. With a shocked Goku responding, "Whoa, there's just no way! And just what in the world did that God of Destruction just go and do to him? He looks so different, almost like he isn't himself anymore." With Whis confirming, "Well, that's because he is, unfortunately, Goku, because it only now appears as though Lord Cobras has complete control over Vegeta now." As Cobras then went on to continue, "I knew that I had went and made the right call by taking your students away from you, Beerus, for I went and did what you could never go and do, and as I now want to go and show you as to how different Vegeta truly is now compared to how he was before with you as his teacher. And as one by one I will use him to go and rip everything away from you, Beerus, for you should have paid your debt to me when you had the chance, and so now go, my faithful and powerful servant. Go and tear your fellow Saiyans apart before you go and engage against Lord Beerus. Now go and do as you please, as I want you to show your former teacher on exactly why he had failed you as being your so-called master." To which seconds later, within that moment, as an infected Ultra Ego Vegeta was then shown going after Goku, was when Goku then went on to shout, "Oh, hey, whoa, wait a minute there, Vegeta, don't go and listen to..." But then, it was only from out of nowhere before Goku even had the chance to finish, where infected Ultra Ego Vegeta was from that point then shown knocking Goku away by punching him in the face, as Cobras then went on to respond, "There is no use in trying to reason with him, Saiyan, for there is nothing that either of you could possibly go and say to him that will change things here, and you know it. And so as long as my venom continues to course through his body, he will go as far as to remain under my watch until I decide otherwise. And so now do not listen to what it is that they have to say and continue to show them on why you stand above the rest." But of course, now I see Whis went on to then add, "For Vegeta is likely under some kind of poisonous control. Well, if you can go and hear me under there, Vegeta, try and remember that this is not you." But despite Vegeta not shown having to listen to Whis, as he from there went on to continue his pursuit against Goku, was when from out of nowhere, that was when Broly was shown having to quickly take action, as Whis went on to interrupt by responding, "Well, this is isn't good, for I can't let you go and jump and insert yourself in this battle quite yet, Broly. In which as soon as Whis was then shown having to stop Broly by grabbing onto his arm was when Whis then went on to continue, and though I understand your concerns in trying to go and do the right thing here, but for the time being, you are simply too dangerous to go and use your full power against Vegeta, for you'd be ultimately doing more harm than good if you go and get yourself involved, Broly, as Cobras then went on to respond, excellent, and as Vegeta goes and tears these mortals down one by one, we will go and collect their remaining bodies back into Universe 14 and do onto them just as we had done with Vegeta. Yes, for I will make sure that they will all be mine in leaving Beerus with nothing in the end, and as I go and finish him off and pay him back for what he owes me, as it was only right then and there now during that moment where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super story of the resurrected fallen gods of destruction, the Universe 14 saga manga chapter number 8 special then comes to a close.
Actually, I'll go and take it from here, as I do want to go as far as to address something with all of our dear viewers at the moment. As before I go and give you the following information, if you aren't already a member of Unreal's Patreon community, then you are truly missing out on so much without you even knowing. As not only is the next episode already on the page, but if you want to support all of the content that you see and gain access to tons of exclusives along the way, then we do encourage for you all to become members of our Patreon community today, for we will link it all down in the description box below and pinned comment section. Now, in regards to Lord Cobras and what he was shown doing to Vegeta, I have no doubt that although this may seem like it will be a problem going forward, I don't truly believe that Vegeta is truly all gone, especially if he is able to somehow reach down deep within himself to break free from Cobras' control. So I wouldn't rule Vegeta out just yet, but would implore you all to have faith in him, for this battle is far from finished. So I hope you all are ready for what Unreal has in store for you all that's coming on the channel very soon. So we appreciate you all for tuning in, as we'll see